Paano ko na nga ba sisimulan ng isang online meeting? Or may madaling way ba para introduce ko yung sarili ko in this new normal? Yan ang pag-uusapan natin in this video. Ayun. What's good? What's good? Celebrities, if you're new here, my name is Direk Glenn and tumutulong ako sa mga sales professionals na kagaya nyo to become much more strategic in connecting with their clients. So sabi nga kanina, papaano na nga ba tayo magsisimula ng online meeting? Kasi mas sanay ako dun sa face-to-face. I shake their hands, diba? I look at their eyes to, send my sincerity and whatnot. But again, how to connect? That's the main thing that we have to do, especially if nasa sales ka. Papaano ka ba ko-connect sa kliyente mo? Meaning, I believe kasi na if you're in sales at nasa service industry ka, what really matters is the relationship you build with your clients. Not just relationships, no? Meaningful one and long-lasting. Na talagang nandiyan ka to help them, guide them, lalo na sa mga after-sales support natin, right? Pero, ang objective ng ating pag-uusapan today is more on how to connect and then lead the conversation. Minsan kasi yung iba na parang, okay, I know how to connect, pero hindi ko na maisingit si product or service ko. Wow. Give me a sec. I am so in demand. But anyway, so yun. Balik tayo, right? Yeah, I know how to connect, pero parang hirap na hirap naman akong itawid. No, that's the idea then, no? To connect and then lead the way to pitch your product or service sa mga clients natin. So, in the new normal, right? Zoom meetings. What you do is, sabi nga nila, ang hirap ng transition. But, guys, it's been almost or more than 2 years na, no, na ginagawa natin to. And I know na medyo meron talagang matagal-tagal maka-adapt, makatagal maka-cope up. And sana ito, isa sa mga maraming ways, no, na pwede nyong gawin in connecting with your client or maybe start a conversation with your client. Pero, sige, let me take you back to this. When I tried to factor in yung mga bagong sales professionals, minsan, no, yung mga, medyo matagal na, seasoned advisors or sales professionals, kapag hindi natin pinapractice pala yung way natin introduce yung sarili natin, medyo kahit you're really an awarded in your field, medyo magsa-stutter ka rin. Right? So, let me give you an example. Ito medyo may exaggeration lang, no, on how I come up with this kind of intro. Pero baka may makarelate din sa inyo. Diba? Tingnan natin. Sabi, hello, can you hear me? Usually, that's how we test, no, kung andyan si client and whatnot. But that's fine. So, can you hear me? My name is Glenn. I'm 34 from Auckland and I'm in my job since 4 years. I am a unit manager and I manage Team Pyre of Garnet. I went to University of Makati and I have a 3 years old child, etc., etc. So, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's, number one, a lot of fillers. Secondly, it seems like hindi tayo masyadong prepared para dun sa kausap natin. And that's something na gusto ko kayong tulungan. Again, baka ako lang tong gantong mag-intro, no? Maraming fillers and and hindi buo yung idea kung saan papunta yung usapan. And if we look at the study that was done by talagang reputable organization, ang sabi, the attention span From 12, naging 8 seconds na lang. That's the attention span of what? Of us in this generation. Sabi nga, may biruan, pero it's scientifically proven din that is less than 9 seconds of your pet at home or yung attention span ng isang goldfish. Kaya, no, don't allow someone to call you goldfish. And then again, they're doing better than us, right? So, having that said, kasi there's a lot of distractions talaga eh. The phones everywhere, and sometimes when you're at home, 'di ba? A lot of things is happening in the background. Kaya talagang hindi yung attention span natin madaling mawala. Right? May marinig ka nga lang minsan o may nahulog ang barya dyan, di ba? Napapatingin ka kahit hindi sa'yo eh. Right? So that's why I wanted to give you some ideas on how to, start a conversation that will last until you pitch for your products or service. But I believe na lahat naman tayo, kilala dapat natin yung mga kliyente natin or prospects. Meaning, we might not know them like personally, pero at least have an idea kung sino ba sila. Kasi that's the only way for us to connect with them. That's why, I'd like to introduce ang isang model sa inyo. Model. No, it's actually a model that was created pa noong mga 1960s. And that model will help you try to figure out paano ko ba sisimula ng isang meeting. Right? Sabi, and that is AIM. That is AIM model. Ano ba tong AIM na to? It's a framework na consists of 3 categories. Number 1, A. You have to know who's your audience and what do they care about. Sana malinaw yan. You have to know ano ba ang importante para sa kanila. Do not set a meeting without knowing what do they care about. You have to find a way for your product or service to be able or to become one of many ways to talk about the things that they care about. Kasi kung mag-message blast lang tayo, and it works for others, no? I just don't know how to do it. But if you want to build like a long-lasting relationship and get a lot of referrals from them, then you have to know them and what do they care about. Right? Plain and simple. Siyempre, alam nyo kung saan nag-work, ilan ang kids, or married ba, starting parents. There's a lot of categories that you can look into it. But it's really imperative for you to know anong life stage nila. Something like that. Alright? Then, if you know them and what they care about, you move into the I, which is intent. Intent means ito yung ano yung pwede mong itulong sa kanila. Yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, your product or service that can help them out. Kasi I care about the education of my kids. Right. I care about my skin. So, it has to be a product that would help them sustain that kind of skin or maybe lighten it up. Whatever it is. No? Kung ano man yung product nyo. Or maybe if you're what do you call this? Ahente ng mga real estate agent or sa mga sasakyan, 'di ba? You have to think about, okay, this 2 bedrooms, okay na okay sa inyo because you have a growing family or maybe 3 bedrooms. Kapag naman sa sasakyan, now that they're driving sedan, baka they might want to consider a crossover para medyo mas malaki yung space for their kids, 'di ba? So, you have to know paano mo sila matutulungan by identifying sino ba sila at ano ang importante. Isa sa mga importante para sa kanila. And moving on to M, this is the only time you create a message. Never ever have a templated message na isi-send to all mo lang. Again, there are people who really excel, no, when they do message blast. But I just don't know how to do it. Kaya hindi ko maituro sa inyo. Right? But then, if you want to start it right, you're starting in the industry, you want to have a guide or a framework, eto na yun. Aim. Aim for your clients, and it's really important for you to follow this model. Right? So, that only means, okay, kilala ko na. Ang kakausapin ko mamayang meeting ko, Zoom meeting man yan, Facebook, TeamSpeak, yung Google Meet, right? Okay, he's a father of one. Let me just use myself an example. A father of one. He's into he has 3 years old na anak, so definitely to help him out with his child's education, and then yung sasakyan maybe and whatnot. So depende, no? Depende. Ang focus natin ngayon is to help them understand na okay, I need to have something to make them realize, right, na they need this. But that's it. That's the first part. How do you then start? Know your client. Now, remember this intro kanina? Ang gagawin natin is this. Lilinisin natin ng konti yung intro at papadaliin natin na magsaswak sa attention span ng mga tao na these days. So we want to make a neat, a professional intro na mabilis lang. And then later on kasi you can talk about your other achievements naman, right? So the framework on how to introduce, neat. Yan, nakita nyo na rin kanina, no? Neat mo, sabi nga nila. Neat. And, basically, madali lang yan. That's start with your name. Depende sa level of the relationship na meron kayo kay client. So, it's just first name, or yung tawagan nyo, magbabarkada, or first and last name. Simple. Hello, my name is Glenn. Hello, my name is Glenn Castrillo. Pero kung apat yung first name nyo, hello, I'm Jose Rizal Protasio Mercado. Wag. Tama na yung isang first name lang and then last name. Kasi baka hindi rin makatch up ni client na baka ang daming names sino makausap ko. Right? So just make it simple. No? Para sa mga clients natin. Start with that. Hello, my name is. Okay? Let's move on to E. E stands for explain your background and achievements briefly. So I'll say, I am a multi-awarded financial advisor. Simple lang. Now, maybe a question, paano kung nagsisimula pa lang ako, wala pa akong award? How do I tell them that? Then, bibilisan mo lang din. You can say, explain the background, diba? I am a financial advisor. Period. Right? You don't have to really focus on how do I say these things, right? Kasi meron naman tayong letter A. Letter A is all about articulate. What do you do? Diba? Yung first episode natin, tinulungan ko na kayo dyan kung paano sagutin yung what do you do. So kung hindi nyo pa nakikita yon, feel free to look it up dito sa ating channel, or we call it productions, no? Kasi nga, we want to simulate a learning in a controlled environment na dito pwede tayo magkamali. But anyway, so articulate, what do you do? So I will say, that means I excel in helping young professionals like you to be in complete control of their finances. Right? Good? So ito na, parang you're highlighting na ito yung talagang expertise ko. I help this and that and whatnot. Depende nga sa nagawa niyong what do you do. Now, tie it down. That's letter T. Neat. That's the last part of the introduction. Tie it down to what you do. Paano yun? Ibabalik nyo lang. And to share with you, ganito siya. which will be the focus of our learning today. Sounds fun, right? So, depending adjective na ang gamitin nyo, sounds awesome, sounds depende. It's all about kung saan kayo comfortable, no, na mag-share. So, let me share with you yung kabuuan ng neat introduction natin. Right? I'll say, hello, my name is Glenn Castrillo, or just Glenn. I'm a multi-awarded financial advisor. That means I excel in helping young professionals like you to be in complete control of their finances, which will be the focus of our learning today. Sounds interesting, right? Sounds fun, right? So that means the client would feel like, oh, okay, so yun pala yung focus ng pag-uusapan namin. Hindi kami magfo-focus sa magkano budget mo. Non-smoker ka ba? Hindi. Magkano ba yung gusto mong monthly sa sasakyan? So, sa bahay. No? So, it's all about helping them. That's the focus. Now, tapos na tayo sa aim. You know who's your client. Yung intro nyo, neat na. Right? Malinis. It's concise. Easier for them to remember. Then the next part is make them feel comfortable. Or, lead the conversation to your products or service. Right? So, paano yun? Ang susundan nating framework, tatlong framework dito, no? Una, aim, neat, and then the next framework is, ako yan. Yan, balyena, no? But anyway, whale framework. Dito naman, so you started the intro, you know your client. You know your client, then you intro. Then you try to make them comfortable. You can talk about work. So W for work. Dito guys, don't get me wrong, no? You don't ask the client, uy, saan ka na nagwo-work? Uy, doon ka pa rin ba? It's answerable by yes or no. And dead end yun usually. Ang suggestion ko ganito. I'll give you some examples. How do you extract more from the client? When it's about work, ito, usually, pag tinatanong ko to sa mga clients ko na kababaihan, kinikilig sila some reason. Pero, hindi naman yun ang intention natin. I ask them like this. Why do you look so happy these days? Is it about your work? Right? Yung iba dyan, magbablush pa. Oh. So, that's one. Why do you look so happy? Because what you're trying to imply is this. Blooming ka, you look so happy. What makes you happy, no? Sa work. Or maybe yung work mo yung dyan. Yung involved dyan. Kasi back then, no? So, right? Diba? Another question is, yan, yung nabanggit ko na rin pala, no? Pwede namang diretso na. What makes you happy sa work? You've stayed like 5 years na, no? There's something about it na alam ko it's holding you back because you're really enjoying it. So that's back to work. So ask them specific questions na mag-open up sila about work. But remember, kapag may negative emotion na dyan or any part of the category, transition na. Kabila. And not because whale yung ating framework, hindi naman ibig sabihin lahat yan itatanong natin, right? Kasi nga, you have to know your client, di ba? So you have the aim na, okay, happy sa work, I'll ask about work. Kung hindi naman, move on to hobbies. You can intro that, these days, what keeps me sane? I learned a new hobby, no? Nag-aral ako paano mag-golf, pero driving range pa lang, sobrang beginner. Ikaw, what keeps you busy these days aside from your work and family? Right? So you can ask them leading questions kasi you'll never know, baka isa to sa mga pwede nyo magamit when you want to pitch your products or services. Okay? Letter A for aspiration, isasama ko na loved ones. So, A and L. Parehas lang naman din siya because it talks about what's your dream. And usually kapag pamilyado ang isang client nyo, it will center most of the time doon sa pamilya nila. dream for their child, maybe vacation or retirement, right? Pero kung single yan, then aspiration can be different. So, kaya nakahiwalay pa din. Right? So, ask them, set aside money. What do you want to do when you retire? Set aside everything and I want you to just dream today. Right? Ganun din sa loved ones. My favorite though, the last part, experience. Ito yung mga happy thoughts. You have to bring your clients back, your prospects back doon sa isang event na masaya kayo. Like I've been using sa mga college friends ko back then na, uy, naalala mo si ganito? Yung professor natin na ganito, ganyan, yung parang may makeup lagi nandito lang sa noon niya and whatnot. So, yung mga kalokohan, katatawanan, no? So, uy, naalala mo ba yung parang na ano tayo? Ano nga yung high school love booth, no? Nakulong sa booth, tas kinasal kayo kunyari, di ba? Pero hindi tayo nagkatuluyan. Kasi mas pinili mo siya kesa, hindi, biro. So, experience, so, but happy thoughts. Kaya ako, paborito ko to kasi mas madaling maging upbeat yung mood ni client, lalo na ako pagka happy moments ngayon na pag-uusapan. Alright? So, basically, we've talked about aim, who's your client, what do they care about. Your intro should be neat for them to easily remember. And to lead and connect, you have to at least pick one or two things para mag-share sila sa inyo. Because that's the only way for you to start a meaningful conversation. Alright, so synopsis natin. Basically, that's everything. Ang last part na lang is yung negative emotion. Transition to another category. Right? Towards the end, I'd like to give you the quote of this episode. And ang sabi, the essential things in life are the connections you build with others. And that is for our episode today. Sana meron kayong natutunan and sana ma-practice nyo yan. And if you need help, right, lalo na sa introduction, yun lang naman yung pwede nating pag-usapan, no? Sa comment section natin. If you need help, all you have to do is to get that neat framework. Comment nyo dyan sa ating YouTube section. And then I will reply with you with the improved version. And that's the only way for us to create a community para din magkaroon ng ibang idea, lalo na yung mga nanonood ng video na to pero medyo nahihiya pang mag-comment, for them to have some takeaways din na pwede nilang magamit and to be strategic in connecting with their clients. And also, bago pala natin i-end, I'd like to just encourage everyone to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Plus, if you would like this video and it helped you, please click the thumbs up naman para lang din ma-inspire ko gumawa pa ng maraming videos na I think can help you guys out. Alright, so that's about it. Thank you and I will see you next episode.